And we're underway. Ethan Phillips versus Corey Woodward. Ethan Phillips in the red corner with the red ankle band on his leg. And I think Ethan Phillips has made it pretty clear based on how the match has started that he is going to look to finish this with a leg attack. Ethan Phillips already deep on a leg. And Corey Woodward not showing too much respect. Well done by Corey Woodward, looking to just counter immediately. And the boys find themselves locked in a 50-50 on the side of the mat. And as we mentioned in the last match, if the boys are locked in on a submission and they find themselves off the mat on the basketball court, they are just going to keep going. As long as it is safe for our spectators and athletes, our referee is just going to let the match continue. And well done by Corey Woodward there to turn that position into a beautiful leg entry. Now finds himself in outside ashigarami, looking for an outside heel hook on Ethan Phillips. And Ethan Phillips now on a straight ankle lock attempt. That looked very close for a split second. You might not have been able to see it at home, but there was a split second it looked to me like Ethan Phillips almost locked a very tight belly down straight ankle lock. Ethan Phillips still finding himself on the bottom of an outside ashi. Looks to me like Ethan Phillips has a lot of confidence in his straight ankle lock. And I'm excited to see if he gets a crack at really trying to finish one. And well done by Ethan Phillips to get around the guard there. Finds himself in a front headlock against Corey Woodward. Returning Corey onto his back. Ethan Phillips pretty deep on a mounted guillotine here. I can't see exactly how deep it is, but it looks like Ethan Phillips is just trying to lock his hands here. Corey Woodward fighting the hands desperately, trying to make sure he doesn't get finished here. Corey now with hands on hips, looking to kip and find a way out of this mounted position. And Ethan Phillips finds himself reset in the center of the mat with a well-locked mount position. Looks like he's got an underhook. I can't see exactly, but I'm pretty sure he's got an underhook. So we would call this a single chest wrap. Very difficult position to deal with for Corey Woodward on the bottom. Ethan Phillips hunkering down, locking in on that arm triangle. I'd say it won't be enough time for him to finish. But great round by both boys. Very dominant by Ethan Phillips, constantly attacking submissions.
The judges score this round to the red corner.
Great job by Ethan Phillips to find himself back in on the legs. Looks like a position he's very comfortable with. And we can see Corey desperately trying to slam his left knee down onto the mat there to start trying to pass and crush Ethan, but Ethan managed to get that tight ankle lock grip, which he's cranking on now. Good job by Corey to defend, but this is such a difficult position to deal with for Corey. And generally in this outside Ashi position, it can be a big risk that the person on top of you pins you to the mat, slams their knee down to the floor like Corey was trying to do before, and you end up in a horrible position. But Ethan does a great job of being tenacious, constantly pushing Corey off him, keeping his knee in the right position, and now he finds himself on top, where he had a lot of success in the last match. Sorry, in the last round. Ethan looking very dominant in this match. Now finds himself in a north-south pin. And well done by Ethan to isolate the arm there. You can see a small detail. Ethan managed to keep Corey's head and arm trapped inside the legs. Ethan could look to start trying to set up reverse triangles or side triangles here. I'd be interested to see if he tries to set up either of those. It looks like one of our athletes may have just been pinged for stalling. Very tough position for Corey to work out of here. Looks to me like Ethan might be trying to set up a Kimura on Corey's arm. And it looks to me like Ethan has been now reset in one of our penalty reset positions for too much stalling. Arguably, though, I would almost say Ethan was in a better position before he got reset and given the good penalty position, because Ethan pretty much had a fully locked Kimura and a reverse triangle. That's very unfortunate. I wonder in the rule set, are you allowed to elect to not take the penalty position? Very interesting. I would be interested to know what Ethan's thoughts are on that after this match. I would almost consider that a gift for Corey there to find himself no longer in a reverse triangle with the Kimura locked on his left arm. But props to Corey for playing the game, finding a way out of the position. Unfortunately, finds himself pinned again by Ethan Phillips, who's putting on a super dominant performance. Kimura once again locked for Ethan Phillips. Great job. Look for Ethan Phillips to start trying to step over the head of Corey. Interesting. Looks like Ethan prefers to use that threat just to take mounted position. Ethan finds himself mounted for the second round this match. Great job by Corey to kip his way out there. The difference was that time Ethan did not have an underhook, making it a lot harder for him to retain the mount position against someone with a good kipping escape like Corey. Ethan now finding himself in a pretty deep inside Ashigarami, what it appears to me to be an inside Ashigarami where Ethan can attack a Z-lock. It looks like, to me, he's attacking a Z-lock, which is essentially a hip and knee lock, and it is absolutely devastating. And, yep, I would say Ethan is definitely trying to attempt that Z-lock here. And I won't be surprised if Ethan moves back to it. He's essentially playing a game between the Z-lock and an outside heel hook. He's now looking for the outside heel hook. And well done by Corey to pass his leg back to the other side and get out of a horrific position, which is that inside Ashigarami.
Judges score that round to the red corner.
And great work by Ethan Phillips in the last round. He takes it, putting a lot of pressure on Corey now to push the pace and really look for a finish. But unfortunately finds himself in Ethan's outside Ashi again. Ethan wisely bringing his left knee back in front, now playing what I believe people call these days a Y guard. And the Y guard makes it extremely difficult for the person in the Y guard to put pressure on the opponent on the bottom. You can see Ethan's two knees are basically together, playing that Y guard position, making it very hard for Corey to push back into him. Very impressive by Ethan. Seems like he has the answer for all the puzzles Corey is trying to throw at him. And another beautiful entry by Ethan. People generally refer to that as an Ashi slide, meaning a slide into a leg entanglement. Another beautiful Ashi slide by Ethan. Looking to lock up a tight straight ankle lock now, trying to put his chest to the floor. Corey is desperately hand fighting, ripping down the wrists of Ethan Phillips. And great job by Ethan to spin the leg there. And this position can be very dangerous for Corey. It might look like there is back exposure for Ethan, but the problem is as soon as Corey's legs come apart, Ethan is going to be trying to rip it off with an outside heel hook, electing to turn in, take an underhook, falling back to a cross Ashigarami now. And great job by Ethan to try and secure that cross Ashigarami. Cheeky move by Corey there, trying to arm triangle Ethan while trapped in cross Ashigarami. Very disrespectful. I like it. Ethan once again hunting a finish from outside Ashy. Outside Ashy being the position where both of Ethan's legs are on the outside of Corey's hip. Ethan has had a lot of success with this match. He hasn't managed to get a finish yet, but he has successfully stopped Corey from smashing him and squashing him the entire match from this position, which is actually extremely difficult to do unless you have a very sophisticated understanding of the outside Ashy position. And Corey, unfortunately, finds himself in Ethan Phillips' closed guard. Corey had a whiff of a crossface and underhook, top, head, and arm control where he could have pinned Ethan's upper body. And unfortunately, he was robbed. And Ethan manages to get back to a closed guard, looking for a K-guard entry now, is Ethan Phillips. And he gets it. Well done. Look for Ethan to start taking Corey's knee up to his chest and moving behind the hamstring of Corey. And unfortunately for Corey, it seems that this match is just a tale of Ethan being a little too dominant from that outside Ashy position. Just when Corey looks like he's about to get a good position and maybe smash the guard of Ethan Phillips, Ethan busts out some sort of attack or sweep and starts to beat him up. And I believe one of our athletes was just pinged for stalling, received a stalling penalty. Very dominant match by Ethan Phillips. But really impressive performance from both men.
The referees score this match 30-26 for your winner out of the red corner, Ethan Phillips.